Good morning. Welcome to a Thankful Thursday. Today is a day for the gurus. Today is a day for learning much more. So let's start our day with Pixit programming and thank our all the wishes that we have, knowing that each one of them is coming true. So let's start with Pixit programming. Let's start running until the music comes. Ritesh sir, we can't hear the music yet. Yes, I'm a winner. How wonderful. Left leg in the front, right in the back, and let's start again. Yes, I'm a winner. We all are winners in the game of life. Ritesh sir, today please look into the fact that ज्ञान जी उषा जी का मीतू माथुर लिखा हुआ आता है कल से. So just change their, I think they've got an email problem or something. Please look into it. Thank you so much, sir. All right, today let's start with mirror work, day 18. And let's start the day. Any volunteers to read, please? Today is beautiful day. On the day 18, we will learn about receiving our prosperity. So how do each one of us become more prosperous? That's something today we're going to be learning. So thank you, Richa, for raising your hand to read. All right. So are you a magnet for miracles, money, prosperity, and abundance? Today you learn how you can be when you open yourself to receiving. That's about today. So Richa, you can start with this is a good time to go back. Please start.
Are you a magnet for miracles, money, prosperity, and abundance? Today you learn how you can be when you open yourself to receiving. This is a good time to go back and look at the notes you wrote in your journal when you first started this course. Do you see how much you have learned? Can you see how much comfortable you are with saying your affirmations in front of the mirror? You are a magnet of miracles.
Magnet for miracles. You are a magnet for miracles.
miracles. Do you believe that you are also a magnet for money, prosperity, and abundance? There is so much abundance in the world just waiting for you to experience it. There is more money than you could ever spend. There is more joy than you could ever imagine. There are more people than you could ever meet. If you fully understood this, you would realize that you can have everything you need and desire. The power within us is willing to give us our fondest dream and enormous abundance in an instant. Are you open to receiving it? If you want something, the universe doesn't say, I'll think about it. It readily responds and sends it through. However, you must be open and ready in order to receive. I have noticed that sometimes when people comes to my lectures, they sit with their arms folded across their chest. How are they going to let anything in? It is a wonderful gesture to open your arms wide so that the universe notices and responds. I invite you to do the right now. Stand up, open your arms, and say, I am open and receptive to all the good and abundance in the universe. Now shout it from the rooftop of everyone to hear.
So now
Prosper.
what do we have to do? Simply what we do every day is open our arms wide on your left and right, the way we expand our heart, and simply say, shout it out and say, I am open and receptive to all the good and abundance in the universe. This is one abundance pose where they say that you are telling the universe, you are open and receptive. And जो लोग ऐसे बैठ जाते हैं ना with their arms like tied like this, that means you're closed. You're a closed person who can't receive anything. So your postures matter. So be careful in the future. Do not to sit like this. So either abundance is like this, where you're opening heavenwards, or you're like this, or like this. So whatever, that's what the pose is all about. Yes, please.
Prosperity can mean many things: money, love, success, comfort, beauty, time, knowledge. You create prosperity by talking and thinking about your abundance. You cannot create prosperity by talking or thinking about your lack. When you concentrate on lack, it only creates more lack. Poverty thinking brings more poverty. Gratitude thinking brings more abundance. Your mirror work is a very powerful tool that will help bring about prosperity into your life. When you allow the abundance of universe to flow through your experiences, you can receive everything you desire. All it takes is practice and your mirror. Whatever you give out comes back to you. Always. If you t- take from life, then life will take from you. It's that simple. You may feel that you do not steal, but are you counting the paper clips and stamps you are taking home from the office? Are you a person who steals time or robs others of respect? All these things are telling the universe, I don't really deserve the good in life. I have to sneak it, steal it. Be aware of the beliefs that may be blocking the flow of money and prosperity in your life. Then use your mirror work to change those beliefs and create new abundant things. The best thing you can do if you are having money problem is to develop prosperity thinking. There are two prosperity affirmations I have used for many years that work well for me. They will work for you too. They are: my income is constantly increasing and I prosper wherever I turn. When something good comes into your life, say yes to it. Open yourself to receiving good. Say yes to your world. Opportunities and prosperity will increase 100-fold. Once a day, stand with your arms open wide and say with joy, I am open and receptive to all the good. All the abundance in the universe. Thank you, life. Life will hear you and respond. Let's affirm. Life supplies all my needs in great abundance. I trust life.
Thank you so much, Richard. Let me take from here. So today, what do we do in front of mirror work exercise? Very simple. We go and stand in front of a mirror. And today, your mirror work is going to focus on receiving your prosperity. Stand up with your arms outstretched and say, I am open and receptive to all the good and abundance in the universe. Now look into the mirror and say it again. I am open and receptive to all good. Let the words flow from your heart. I am open and receptive to all good. Repeat this affirmation 10 more times. Notice how you feel. Do you feel liberated? Does this morning exercise Do this morning exercise every morning until the end of your mirror work course. It's a wonderful way to increase your prosperity consciousness. The power is within us. What do we do in our journaling? First, let's analyze what are your beliefs about money. Go back to the mirror, look into your eyes, and say, my biggest fear about money is, and whatever you have, write it down. Write down your answer and why you feel that way. What did you learn about money as a child? How were your finances handled in your family? How do you handle money now? Write your thoughts down. Do you see any patterns? Now, do some journaling to shift yourself into prosperity thinking. Write down what it would take to have all the things that you ever always wanted. What would they be? What would your life book look then? What would your life book look then? Where would you travel? What would you do? Feel it, enjoy it, be creative, and have fun. Simply today, you have to write down what we feel, what we don't feel about money, what is the lack of it, what are our fears, and if we have money, how would we spend it? Now, let's talk about our. Sir, please change the page. Yes. Our heart thought for day 18 is I am a yes person. And we have been saying this forever and ever. I know that I am one with all life. I am surrounded by and permeated with infinite wisdom. Therefore, I rely totally on the universe to support me in every positive way. Everything I could possibly need is already here waiting for me. This planet has more food on it than I could possibly eat. There is more money than I could ever spend. There are more people than I could ever meet. There's more love than I could possibly experience. There's more joy than I can ever imagine. This world has everything I need and desire. It is all mine to use and have. The one infinite mind, the one infinite intelligence always says yes to me. No matter what I choose to believe or think or say, the universe always says yes. I do not waste my time on negative thinking or negative subjects. I choose to see myself and life in the most positive ways. I say yes to opportunity and prosperity. I say yes to all good. I am a yes person, living in a yes world, being responded to by a yes universe, and I rejoice that this is so. I am grateful to be one with universal wisdom and backed by universal power. Such positive affirmations, such a positive feeling. There's always enough in the world going around. All we have to do is just ask, believe, and receive. And we shall get it by simply affirming that I am a yes person, that I am open and receptive to all goodness. How wonderful. This is how life is. The meditation, of course, I will make you do in the meditation time. Time to switch over ourselves to the power of our subconscious mind. Where yesterday we finished one chapter about human relationships, and today we're moving into a brand new chapter about forgiveness. So, why do you think forgiveness is coming again and again? Dr. Murphy brings it, Louis Hay brings it, everyone's bringing forgiveness. Why? Because if you and I have not forgiven ourselves or people around, we cannot prosper in any part of our life because we are going to be stuck. The energy will be blocked. And when the energy is blocked, nobody can grow. So, very important to understand that forgiveness is extremely important. It's all about giving love. Love is what governs every single human on the planet. And love is what is required for forgiveness. If you're giving love, then you're forgiving also, because that is how life is. We are all born for giving love. We are all born for getting love. So forget and forgive. You've heard this. Okay, so Ritesh sir may have logged off by mistake. So let's start. Richard, do you have the book in front of you?
Yes, yes.
All right. So chapter 17, page number 199. And let's start this chapter.
But I,
So
but I think my book is a little bit different from your book. Actually, this is
let me
the
start then.
edition.
So life plays first chapter is chapter 17, how to use your subconscious mind for forgiveness. Life plays no favorites. God is life. And this life principle is flowing through you this moment. God loves to express himself as harmony, peace, beauty, joy, abundance through you. This is called the will of God or the tendency of life. If you set up resistance in your mind to flow of life, yes. So now you can start with paragraph number 2. If you set up
If
resistance.
if If you set up resistance in your mind to flow of life through you, this emotional congestion will get snarled up in your subconscious mind and cause all kinds of negative conditions. God has nothing to do with unhappy and chaotic conditions in the world. All these conditions are brought about by men negative, destructive thinking. Therefore, it's silly to blame God for your trouble or sickness. Many people habitually set up mental resistance to the flow of life by accusing and reproaching God for the sin, sickness, and suffering of mankind. Others cast the blame on God for their pains, aches, loss of loved ones, personal sorry, tragedies, and accidents. They are angry at God and they believe He is responsible for their misery. As long as people entertain such negative concepts about God, they will experience the automatic negative reactions from their subconscious mind. Actually, such people do not know that they are punishing themselves. They must see the truth, find relief, and give up all condemnation, resentment, and anger against anyone or any power outside themselves. Otherwise, they cannot go forward into healthy, happy, or creative activity. The minute these people entertain a God of love in their mind and heart, when they believe that God is loving Father for who watches over them, cares for them, guides them, sustains and strengthens them, this concept and belief about God or the life principle will be accepted by their subconscious mind and they will find themselves blessed and in countless ways.
So very important to get something very, very, very clear. We are habitual to not forgive. We are habitual to tuck away the sorrows of the past inside in our deeper realms and move on. Like as I said, forgive and forget ki jagah, forget and move on. Forgive to aata hi nahi. Why? Because you're just doing a blame game. He did this to me, so I felt this. He did that, so I felt this. And the thing is going on and on and on. And the negative concepts are going on. For example, you've lost somebody in life. You're not able to forgive God. "Then मेरा ये इंसान क्यों चला गया? What happened? Why has he gone?" Or when everybody in the world has riches, why don't I? Why am I suffering? That person's husband is like this, or wife is like this. Why isn't mine? It's a blame game, and you're having this dialogue with God. But understand one thing: He is watching everything, and your karmas matter. How are you and I'm in this world? What is there? So you can't see the bigger picture, but He can. So God will only be giving, but there will be challenges coming your way for a particular reason. So जो है बहुत अच्छा है. This too shall pass should become your mantra, and forgive and forget is very, very, very important. So let's understand that life always forgives us. How does it that happen? Let's understand.
Life forgives you when you cut your finger. The subconscious intelligence within you sets about immediately to repair it. New cells build bridges over the cut. Should you take some taint, tainted food by error, life forgives you and causes you to regurgitate in, in order to preserve you. If you burn your hand, the life principle reduces the edema and congestion and gives you new skin, tissue, and cell. Life holds no grudges against you, and it is always forgiving you. Life brings you back to health, vitality, harmony, and peace. If you cooperate by thinking in harmony with nature, negative, heartful memories, bitterness, and ill will clutter up and impede the free flow of the life principles in you.
So let's get very, very, very clear about this, that when we are forgiven every now and then by life, by everything around, who are we to have grudges against anybody? Why should we have that? So it's very important to start now. At least jo ho gaya is fine, it's in the past. At least now we can start moving on. When we start moving on, our health becomes better, everything becomes better, and we don't even realize that we're holding on to some kind of blockage. So very important to, even if you don't can't remember somebody who you haven't forgiven, say consciously or unconsciously or subconsciously, I'm mindfully or non-mindfully, I am holding on to some grudge. If I am, Let me release that. At least say a generic prayer. How he banished that feeling of guilt. Another story of how a man banished the feeling of guilt. Let's understand it.
I knew a man who worked every night until about 1 o'clock in the morning. He paid no attention to his two boys or his wife. He was always too busy working hard. He thought people should pat him on the back because he was working so arduously and persistently past midnight every night. He had a blood pressure of over 200 and was full of guilt. Unconsciously, he proceeded to punish himself by hard work and he completely ignored his children. A normal man does not do that. He is interested in his boys and in their development. He does not shut his wife out of his world. I explained to him why he was working so arduously. There is something eating you inside. Otherwise, you would not act like this way. You are punishing yourself and you have to learn to forgive yourself. He did have a deep sense of guilt. It was toward a brother. I explained to him that God was not punishing him, but that he was punishing himself. For example, if you misuse the law of life, you will suffer accordingly. If you put your hand on naked charged wire, you will get burned. The forces of nature are not evil. It is your use of them that determines whether they have a good or evil effect. Electricity is not evil. It depends how you use it, whether to burn down a structure or light up a home. The only sin is ignorance of law, and only punishment is the automatic reaction of men's misuse of the law. If you misuse the principle of chemistry, you may blow up the office or the factory. If you strike your hand on a board, you may cause your hand to bleed. The board is not for that purpose. Its purpose may be to lean upon or to support your feet. This man realized that God does not condemn or punish anyone, and that all his suffering was due to the reaction of his subconscious mind to his own negative and destructive thinking. He had cheated his brother at one time, and the brother had now passed on. Still, he was full of remorse and guilt. I asked him, would you cheat your brother now? He said, no. Did you feel you are justified at that time? At the time? His reply was yes. But you would not do it now, he added. No, I am helping others to know how to live. I added the following comment: you have a greater reason and understanding now. Forgiveness is to forgive yourself. Forgiveness is getting your thoughts in line with the divine law of harmony. Self condemnation is called hell, bondage and restriction. Forgiveness is called heaven, harmony and peace. The burden of guilt and self condemnation was lifted from his mind and he had a complete healing. The doctor tested his blood pressure and it had become normal. The explanation was the cure.
So many a times we don't even know what's happening internally. There must be an old emotional baggage which is weighing us down and it's making us not feel good about something. Maybe you're overworking, maybe you're sick, maybe something is not right. And sometimes a deep dive internally also will not make you remember what you have tucked inside the deeper realms of your being. So it's very important to just generically forgive yourself first and then the others. Remember, the first perpetrator is always you. The first person who's fouling is always you because you feel you've done this because you were a victim and you are not being able to forgive that aap victim kaise ban gaye. So very important to first forgive yourself and then the people around you. Let's read another story of how a murderer learned to forgive himself.
A man who murdered his brother in Europe visited me many years ago. He was suffering from a great mental anguish and torture, believing that God must punish him. He explained that his brother had been having an affair with his wife and that he had shot him on the spur of the moment. This had happened about 15 years previous to his interview with me. In the meantime, this man had married an American girl and had been blessed with three lovely children. He was in a position where he helped many people and he was transformed man. My explanation to him was that physically and psychologically he was not the same man who shot his brother. Since scientists inform us that every cell of our bodies changes every 11 months. Moreover, mentally and spiritually, he was a new man. He was now full of love and goodwill for humanity. The old man who committed the crime 15 years before was mentally and spiritually dead. Actually, he was condemning an innocent man. This explanation had a profound effect upon him, and he said it was as if a great weight had been lifted from his mind. He realized the significance of the following truth in the Bible. Come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as starlit, they
Scarlet,
shall
color scarlet. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as
be
white as snow.
as though
Though
they
though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. Isaiah 1 is to 18. This simply means that, we can run in our life, we can be how we want to be. If we think we've wronged, we'll always keep feeling that we are wrong. If we think we are right, we'll always be right. But sometimes we think we are wrong, but actually we are not. So it's time to forgive and move on. Can you undo what you've done in the past? You can't, right? Nobody can. We can't go back in the past and undo. Of course, we can start doing good karma, good things to help people each other out. That's great, but we have to forgive ourselves because that is weighing us down and stopping us into growing into better people. Another story: criticism cannot hurt you without your consent. This is very important to understand. This is something we've talked repeatedly. Never shift the power to anybody else to ridicule you, belittle you, or make you feel lowly or ghastly. If you have it in you, take the power to yourself. So, again, you cannot let anyone hurt you without your consent. And that's how true it is. Let's understand the story.
a school teacher told me that one of her associates criticized a speech she had given, saying to her that she spoke too fast. She swallowed some of her words. She could not be heard. Her dictation was poor and her speech ineffective. This teacher was furious and full of resentment toward her critic. She admitted to me that criticism were just. Her first reaction was really childish, and she agreed that the letter was really a blessing and a marvelous corrective. She proceeded immediately to supplement her deficiencies in her speech by enrolling in a course in a public speaking at City College. She wrote and thanked the writer of the note for her interest, expressing appreciation for her conclusions and findings, which enabled the teacher to correct the matter at once.
So criticism will come to you, and constructive criticism comes to you. How are you taking it depends upon you. Are you constructively taking it, improving yourself, or are you thinking, oh, she's insulted me, oh, he's insulted me? If that is the case, you will have angst against the person. You will not be able to forgive the person. Oh, this person had so much of thing against me. Why me? Why not the others? Simply because you deserved it, because you can become so much better. So the teacher told you. Otherwise other people are already in such a bad pit that no matter what you say, they can't become better versions of ourselves, but you have scope, so the teacher told you. So very important to understand, this teacher was upset, but if she took it well, ultimately she realized that it was for her corrective measure, and it did impact her, influence her, and made her better. Now, how to be more compassionate? Let's understand.
Suppose none of the things mentioned in the letter had been true of the teacher. The letter would have realized that her class material had upset the prejudice, superstition, or narrow sectarian
Sectarian, sectarian beliefs of the
sectarian beliefs of the writer of the note, and that a psychologically ill person was simply pouring forth her resentment because a psychological boil had been hurt. To understand this fact is to be compassionate. The next logical step would be to pray for the other person's peace, harmony, and understanding. You cannot be hurt when you know that you are a master of your thoughts, reactions, and emotions. Emotions follow thoughts, and you have the power to reject all thoughts which may disturb or upset you.
I hope we're very clear about this. It all depends upon us. What are we allowing to come in us? Is it constructive or destructive? Are we in harmony or are we in agitation? All depends upon us. This was a continuous story about the teacher. Now we'll move on to a new story which says Left at the Altar. Let's read about it.
Some years ago, I visited a church to perform a marriage ceremony. The young man did not appear, and at the end of the 2 hours, the bride to be shed a few tears and then said to me, I prayed to divine guidance. This might be the answer, for he never elleth. That was her reaction, faith in God and all things good. She had no bitterness in her heart because, as she said, I must not have been right
It must.
action.
It must.
It must not have been right action because my prayers was for right action for both of us. Someone else having a similar experience would have gone into a tantrum, have had an emotional fit, required sedation, and perhaps needed hospitalization. Tune in with the infinite intelligence within your subconscious depths, trusting the answer in the same way that you trusted your mother when she held you in her arms. This is how you can acquire force and mental and emotional health.
Very important to keep using these lines again and again. The divine intelligence, divine order. Once you start using all of this, and for my highest best, or for everyone's highest best, you are giving the entire shifting the entire focus on the universe. And when that happens, you are no longer going to feel anything bad because you know everything is in divine order. जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. This too shall pass. This is for goodness for everyone. Once you have the conviction, you will never be belittling yourself. You'll never be feeling bad for yourself. You'll never pitying yourself because you know सब अच्छे के लिए है. It's all is fair. Is it wrong to marry? Sex is evil and I am evil. Let's understand the story.
Some time ago, I talked to a young lady, aged 22. She was taught that it was a sin to dance, to play cards, to swim, and to go out with men. She was threatened by her mother, who told her she would burn eternally in hellfire if she disobeyed her will and her religious teachings. This girl wore a black dress and black stockings. She wore no
Rouge.
rouge, lipstick, and any form of makeup because her mother said that these things were sinful. Her mother told her that all men were evil and that sex was of devil and simply diabolic debauchery.
Debauchery.
debauchery. This girl had to learn how to forgive herself as she was full of guilt. To forgive means to give for. She had to give up all these false beliefs for the truth of life and a new estimate of herself. When she went out with young men in the office where she worked, she had a deep sense of guilt and thought that God would punish her. Several eligible young men proposed to her, but she said to me, it is wrong to me. Sex is evil and I am evil. This was her conscious or early conditioning speaking. She came to me once weekly for about 10 weeks, and I taught her the working of the conscious and subconscious mind as set forth in this book. This young girl gradually came to see that she had been completely brainwashed, mesmerized, and conditioned by an ignorant, superstitious, bigoted, and frustrated mother. She broke away completely from her family and started to lead a wonderful life. At my suggestion, she dressed up and had her hair attended to. She took lessons in dancing from a man and she also took driving lessons. She learned to swim, play cards, and had a number of dates. She began to love life. She prayed for a divine companion by claiming that infinite spirit would attract to her a man who harmonized with her thoroughly. Eventually, this came to pass. As she left my office one evening, there was a man waiting to see me, and I casually introduced them. They are now married and harmonize with each other perfectly.
Sometimes our conditioning comes in the way of our life. And it's very important to unlearn some things. That's why in the morning we keep saying, I am restructuring, reprogramming, unlearning, and learning. Because some things we have learned and they're not the right things. They've been taught to us by society, by parents, and they're not in our own goodness. That's why we are unlearning many things. This woman unlearned what she learned from her mother because they were all limitations. And then she grew over her fear by simply going to a professional. So we anyways have professionals coming to us every morning to teach us. So why not listen to these people who've just changed millions of lives? Listen to stories, understand the science, and just adopt them in your life. Now here, all of you can observe what is it that one hindrance in your life which you're not able to forgive. Something will come out in case you have some blockage that will just flow away and you'll be able to live a life of magnificence. The last story for this morning: forgiveness is necessary for healing. And when you shall stand praying, forgive if you have aught against any. Mark 11:25. Please read.
Forgiveness of others is essential to mental peace and radiant health. You must forgive everyone who has ever hurt you if you want perfect health and happiness. Forgive yourself by getting your thoughts in harmony with divine law and order. You cannot really forgive yourself completely until you have forgiven others first. To refuse to forgive yourself is nothing more or less than spiritual pride or ignorance. In psychosomatic field of medicine today, it is being constantly stressed that resentment, condemnation of others, remorse, and hostility are behind a host of maladies ranging from
Exactly.
arthritis or cardiac disease. They point out that these sick people who were hurt, mistreated, deceived, or injured were full of resentment and hatred for those who hurt them. This caused inflamed and festering wounds in their subconscious minds. There is only one remedy. They have to cut out and discard their hurts, and the one only sure way is by forgiveness.
So sometimes to get mental peace and radiant health, we have to forgive. Forgive, not being able to forgive yourself is also troubling you with bad health. And whatever said and done, it's all about thoughts we might not realize, but we're thinking something, that's why we are sick. And in order to refuse and forgive yourself, you will simply be going low in your spiritual journey. So if you really want to grow over and over, you have to forgive and move on. Tomorrow we will learn about forgiveness is love in action. Today we'll start with Luke Cortino's Magic Weight Loss Pill, where yesterday we spoke about spices, we spoke about fat, we spoke about um, going back to our main staples. Today we will go a little more deeper and we'll understand especially something called gut. Now, gut is the entire area in the digestion system. From your every part in your stomach area, if you touch it, it's a part of your gut. So, how do you heal your gut and how does that help in weight loss? So, people who are having weight issues, let's understand the science about gut. Even people who are having some health issues, it's mostly to do with health. And once we're improving our gut, our health becomes better. So, let's understand the science for it. Richa, you can read from page number 31, your gut bacteria and weight loss.
More and more studies are discovering the connection between chronic illness and the inability to lose weight and gut bacteria health. Links have been found between the health of your gut and bloating, irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, leaky gut syndrome, autism, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, cancer, fibromyalgia, depression, asthma, eczema, cardiovascular diseases, headaches and migraines, skin problems, hair fall, and allergies.
So, if any one of you have any one of these problems, your gut needs to be healed. Let's understand this further. And mostly people have something or the other. Anyways, let's move on.
Approximately 75% to 85% of your immunity starts in the gut, including detoxification, inflammation, and neurotransmitter activity. In the healing and treatment of almost all my patients, I never fail to be amazed to how working on improving their gut health as a first treatment measure boosts immunity. The result can be seen not just in medical reports but also in the way they feel. Gut health includes communication between your gut, stomach, and brain. You rarely link this with the quality of hair, skin, the inability to lose weight,
Quickly.
flatulence,
Yeah.
bloating, acidity, ingestion,
And that,
diabetes, cardiovascular problems, Alzheimer's disease, cancer, etc. The answer does not lie in intensive workout programs and restrictive diet practices. Anything that affects your gut health affects your brain. Just think about all the food that you are eating every single day. It goes through our stomach and intestine. The walls of intestine are like a fishing net with very small holes. This net allows all the nutrients from the food that you eat to pass through the fish net into your blood, which carries those nutrients along with oxygen to all those billions of cells in your body. When you eat the wrong food or eat too fast, you have too much acid in your stomach. Or if you don't chew your food enough, it does not get digested well enough. You send these large particles of food down to your intestine, where they poke holes in that fish net that we spoke about. Those small holes becomes bigger, and then you have things like proteins, molecules, and toxin entering your bloodstream. Those little holes in the fish net also become larger because of inflammation, birth control pills, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs such as antacids and painkillers. Excess caffeine, too much refined or processed sugar and toxins. Your immune system launches an attack on all those particles in the blood, which over time can lead to autoimmune disease like Hashimoto type 1 diabetes, inflammation, rheumatoid arthritis, and leaky gut syndrome. Your gut has over 100 trillions different microbes and bacteria, both good and bad. You need a perfect ratio of good and bad bacteria because it helps assimilate and nutrients from the food that you eat. Excess caffeine, processed food, sugar, eating too fast, stress, high cortisol level, antibiotics, painkillers, antacid medicine, birth control pills, etc., decreases the number of good bacteria. When you have too much bad bacteria, your tongue will have a thick white coating on it, and you may have candida or yeast or infection in your gut. Losing weight then become a struggle, making you change your nutritionist and doctor, trying new pills and going to spas, while all you need to do is enhance your gut health.
so let's get this very clear. All the problems start with our gut. 99% of our problems start with our gut. And when you're not chewing your food properly, we talked about the power of chewing. When you're not eating the right food, you're having the wrong food. This fish net in your digestion system is releasing all the bad toxic elements in your blood. And this blood is, so we have hundreds and thousands of kilometers of blood circulation system in our body. You'll be surprised at how thin they are and how intertwined they are, and such a huge network of blood going in our body. And whatever toxins are coming, they're entering our bloodstream. And this is making us sick. prolonged abusing of your body with wrong food is going to give you autoimmune diseases, and there could be many types of autoimmune diseases that can come: Alzheimer's, Hashimoto's. It could be anything. It could also be like, fibromyalgia. So much can happen, and then it'll be just too late. So please be careful of what you're introducing in your system. Either if you're having too much of coffee, too much of processed sugar, processed food, sugars, eating too fast, not giving your food adequate time, just for the sake of it, khana hai, fatafat kha ke nikal gaye, or too much of, antacid medicines, too much of flatulence, you're having whatever, these are spoiling your gut. How do we make our gut better? Let's understand.
Gut health also has an impact on your state of mind. When patients suffer from depression, doctors prescribe antidepressants which improve secretion of serotonin, also called the happy hormone. The effect of antidepressant is only temporary. This is because serotonin is synthesized in the intestine. If you have problems with your gut, your body cannot produce the hormones properly. So you resort to an antidepressant medicine, where in many cases the patient needs to work on gut health. When I treat my cancer patients, the first thing I do is help solve their gut issues, as I am seeking a root cause cure. I am not against medication, but I am against the fact that it's handed out like candy today. So many people are prescribed strong antibiotic courses and not even asked to take probiotic or B complex along with it. The very two things that antibiotics deplete and create an improper ratio of good and bad bacteria. This is why medication can cause muscle cramps, heaviness in the abdomen, and bloating. However, many of us require medication to treat the disease we have. In such cases, you also have to work to manage the collateral damage of those drugs or treatments, be it chemo, radiation, or antibiotics. So, how do you keep your gut clean? As intelligent and complicated as the human body is, everything in it is simple and abides by the laws of nature. The first step is to reduce toxicity in the body. A lot of things are not in control, such as the air we breathe, the pollution and contamination in food, which is why we detoxify regularly. All of you who have been following me on Facebook and watching my videos will understand the importance of detoxification. We help our body reduce toxic overload through clean eating, regular detoxes, fasting, fruit until lunch, diets, exercise, sweating, and the right quantity of water. The second step is to introduce probiotics into your diet. Probiotics are found in kefir, fermented food, high quality supplement, and yogurt. The third essential thing we need is some proportion of raw food in our diet because we get digestive enzymes and good bacteria from it. Apart from this, certain things also need to be avoided to maintain good gut health. White sugar is a poison you have to be careful of because the body does not know how to process it. It also wipes out all the good bacteria from your gut. Avoid excess caffeine from a tea or coffee as it creates inflammation in the gut. If you are having a caffeine, make sure that you drink sufficient water because it acts as a diuretic. Also keep an eye on your usage of antibiotics because the damage that antibiotics cause can be irreversible. Stress too has a direct impact on your gut health, which is why when you are nervous, you feel butterflies in your stomach. That's nothing but your gut sending communication to your brain. In fact, you have a second brain in your gut called enteric nervous system, ENS. All cravings could just be a unhealthy gut communicating with your brain in a wrong language.
So, a few things to observe. First is detoxes, which we will do, whenever they're coming our way. Second is probiotics. So either you're having kefir or you're having dosas and idlis, or you're having your chacha, or you're having your dahi, it's great. Or if you have, third thing is raw food. So if you're having raw sprouts, salads, fantastic. Please remember, white sugar is most definitely poison. Even that one spoon of sugar in your morning tea, if it's cooked, it becomes even worse. So white sugar is anyways bad, but if it's cooked like chai, look at chai mein ubalte hain sugar, or if you're making some meetha with sugar, that becomes even more poisonous. So please switch over to the organic sugar. Very, very important to make conscious shift in your life, in your houses, because unfortunately everyone is conditioned to using white sugar. It takes a while to switch over to non-white sugar. So very important to understand. And if you're having a lot of chai and a lot of coffee, please understand that you are not doing your body a favor. You're unnecessarily adding nicotine and caffeine in your body. So you have to have a lot of water, because that is going to be a diuretic. So understand that you and me are creating our bodies, and our bodies are recreating themselves every 11 months. So if you're investing in your body now, ultimately after 11 months you will have a brand new body, and that you can be thankful to yourselves about it. So let's understand now, what is inflammation and how does it impact weight loss?
Inflammation is the body's natural response to injury, viruses, pathogens, and bacteria. It is required to kickstart protectors to do its job and then switch off. Inflammation becomes problematic when it does not recede and become chronic. Let's first examine in details what inflammation is. You fall down and cut your knee. The area around the cut swells up and become red because your vessels dilate and blood flow into the area increases so that it can heal. The blood also starts clotting and slows down so that you don't bleed out. Your immune system starts producing a large number of white blood cells, WBCs, to fight any infection or bacteria. At the same time, your cells around the injured area start multiplying and dividing to begin repair quickly. All of these processes together present an inflammation. So, even when you get sunburned, the redness that you see in inflammation set in motion by your immune system to protect the healthy cells around the area. That's good inflammation. We need it to protect us. But the problem occurs when the area doesn't go back to normal. Chronic inflammation is the number one cause of most disease, from heart attack, strokes, and cardiac arrest to cancer. Difficulty in losing weight could also be a reason for chronic inflammation. Stress also causes chronic inflammation because when there is emotional stress, your body may not multiply the number of WBC but increases a certain protein marker in your blood called CR, that is C reactive protein, which is that causes the inflammation. Your heart has vessels and arteries, which, when clogged with plaque or cholesterol, can lead to a cardiac arrest. But inflammation is the number one cause of heart and other disease. You have endothelial cells that line your vessels in the heart. The overconsumption of sugar and salt, improper lifestyles, overeating, or over medication can lead to these bloating and coronary disease. IBS is mainly a result of stress and improper digestion of food. It is one of the most easily curable diseases because it's all related to lifestyle. Remember the tiny holes in the walls of the intestines we covered in the previous section. Remember how these expand due to large particles of undigested food, which then seeps into your blood. This is what leads to chronic inflammation. People then adopt diets and exercise programs, never understanding that inflammation could have be the reason they don't lose weight. When you have inflammation because you eat too much junk food, sugar, or salt, you develop insulin resistance, which means your cells stop responding to insulin and you have higher blood pressure level and thus more storage
Not
of
higher blood pressure, higher blood sugar
sugar
levels.
levels. Think of fat cells as something that contains a little bit of fat. When we eat too much food, these fat cells start expanding to hold the excess fat. Every expanded cell triggers the immune system, which in turn triggers inflammation. When you have chronic inflammation, your metabolic rate decreases. You have hunger craving, which means you you have upset the biological, chemical, and physiological working of your cell. Immunity is great, but immunity that's constantly working in overdrive can actually produce innumerable diseases and ailments.
So, those of us who are having weight issues, please read about this information a bit more. Read this one section once more to understand that could you be having inflammation in your body? Is that the reason why the weight is not going? If yes, it's time to alter and see where we're going wrong. If you're having difficulty in losing weight, a lot of times it's because of chronic inflammation, which you don't even realize, and it's just showing up in the body reacting in different forms. So today we'll conclude at this. Tomorrow we'll read in detail about arthritis and inflammation. So now we can move on to a hard thought. Thank you, my dear, for reading so well for all of us. Thank you for volunteering, and thank you, Richa. Thank you so much. Let's have someone who's never read for us before, if possible. And today's hard thought is very beautiful. So let's read it. And if anybody has any sharings, we can do them post meditation. Any questions, any sharings, we're happy to do that. Can someone raise a hand for yes? Yes, Sakshi. Thank you, my dear. So we all are meant to be in harmony, and we all keep affirming, I am a harmonious being. Everything in your life, every experience, every relationship is a mirror of the mental pattern that is going on inside you. And that is something you and I have spoken many, many times, that everything, every single freaking thing, whether it's a thing, whether it's stuff, it's all your reflection. अगर आपकी लाइफ में कुछ है, it's because of you. Everything is your mentally, you're not sound, there's a pattern which is going on. So you have to realize this, and for this the best thing to say is, I am a harmonious being. So let's read it, please. Yes, Sakshi, please unmute yourself.
I am a harmonious being. I am a center in the divine mind, perfect, whole, and complete. All my affairs are divinely guided into the right action with perfect results. Everything I do, say, or think is in harmony with truth. There is perfect and continuous right action in my life and in my affairs. It is safe for me to change. I release all thoughts or vibrations of confusion, chaos, disharmony, disrespect, or distrust. These thoughts are eliminated from my consciousness completely. I am harmoniously linked with everyone with whom I am in contact. People love working and being with me. I express my thoughts, feelings, and ideas, and they are easily welcomed and comprehended by others. I am a loving, joyful person, and everybody loves me. I am safe. I am welcomed with joy wherever I am. All is well in my world, and life gets better all the time.
How wonderful. Thank you, Sakshi. It was magical. So, all is well in my world, and life gets better all the time. Once we start saying stuff like this, when we start keeping saying that divinely guidance is coming to me, everything is coming very beautifully, that I'm a living, a loving, joyful person, everybody loves me. The very fact that you say these lines are actually helping you elevate yourself. Then where is the question of disharmony? Where is the question of disrespect or distrust? Let's move our vibrations above. Let's keep only counting our blessings, and ultimately all of us will be able to see how wonderful life is. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Richa and Sakshi. Let's move on to a meditation. After that, if there's any questions, we can address them. So very important to check our postures. So I hope Nitin is the co-host, Ritesh sir. If not, please make him the co-host. Our back straight, Our feet firmly placed on the ground below. Our eyes closed. Our faces wearing a smile. And our hands in a comfortable resting position, facing heavenwards, or a Buddha pose, or a Gyan Mudra. Let's inhale love. Feel the love coming in every part of the trillions of cells in your body. Love is all we have. And let's share this love with the world as we exhale, ever so gently. Inhale light, brightening your internal world. And as you exhale, this light brightens the world outside. Inhale harmony. The divine harmony permeates in every part of your being. Everything is in divine order. We are divinely guided. And let's exhale and share this beautiful harmony, the guidance with the world outside. Life is magical. Life is beautiful. Life is magnificent. And so are we. Each one of us is discovering that we can live a life of abundance in all realms, in every part of our being. All we have to do is feel it. We can create prosperity by talking, thinking of wellness, of abundance. All we have to do is think. All we have to do is say. All we have to do is believe. Let's not talk about the lack of money. Let's only talk about magnificence. There are few attitudes and affirmations that are very important and guarantee prosperity beyond reach. Let's keep applauding everyone with wealth, with health, with happiness. Let's keep complimenting them and feeling happy in their happiness. Let's keep affirming there is enough in the world for everyone. How much ever I want, I get, because there is abundance of the money, in health, in every stream in the world. The universe responds to whatever I believe in. I attract abundance. I am a money magnet. I am super healthy. Wherever I turn, prosperity follows. There is enough in the world for everyone. Life is a giver. Whatever I need, it gives. I deserve to have good in my life, and I get that so easily. I affirm, I declare, I deserve, and I allow money and abundance in all parts to come in my life so easily. I attract riches which are far greater than I can imagine. My consciousness is now open and it's new to ideas about money because I am growing every single day positively and deeply. Because I am a magnet for wellness. I am a magnet for prosperity, and so it is. I prosper in every possible fashion. At work, I am deeply appreciated and well compensated. I live in a loving, abundant, harmonious universe, and I am grateful. I am open to unlimited prosperity that exists everywhere. The law of attraction brings only good in my life. I have now acquired for myself a prosperity thinking, and I am prosperous. My finances reflect the change which is happening inside because they are becoming better and better. Good comes to me from everywhere and anywhere. I am expressive in my gratitude. I've embraced an attitude of gratitude as I continuously express my thanks for all good in my life. Each day brings prosperity and wonderful new surprises that I embrace with joy. I may pay my bills with love. I rejoice as I write each check. Abundance flows easily and freely through me. I deserve the best and I accept the best now. I release all resistance to money and allow it to flow joyously into my life. My good comes from everywhere and anywhere. Everyone is joyful and share their joy with me. I attract relationships. I attract prosperity. I attract abundance. Because I am magic. I am abundant. I am blessed. I am love and I am light. Let's invite the white healing light from our crown chakras. Let's see it entering our body. This white healing light is making us so positive, and anything negative in our body, anything toxic in our body, touches this white healing light and diminishes into nothingness. Be it negative thoughts or any diseases, any malfunctioning, or anything unrequired by body. Simply touches this white healing light, and this healing light is making us glow internally from every part. Imagine this healing light is entering every part of you, every organ of you, every nook and corner in your body. This white healing light is everywhere. It's energizing you from top to bottom. Now, as you look up, see the white healing light healing your third eye chakra. You're able to see life with a brand new point of view, a new perspective. You're healed, whole, and complete. This white healing light has made its way into your neck, your throat. You're able to communicate so much more easily. You express all about abundance. You write so easily. You compose poems. You are now rising as your magnificent best. This white healing light has made your heart bigger and bigger. You have expanded it so much more over the past few days. You're turning a new leaf. Love is all you have, love is all you give. And how wonderful. You're attracting all things wonderful in your life because of the love that you feel. This white healing light is now in your solar plexus chakra. You are loving yourself. You're sure about your future. You no longer control people. You're happy in your sanctity, in your space. And you know, whatever you want, you get. You're an absolute freedom state. You respect others and they respect you. And love flows through you so naturally. Whatever you want, you get. The sacral chakra and the root chakra are also grounded, making you feel more whole and complete. This white healing light is now moving on to your legs, giving them more strength, vitality. You're able to stretch more, walk more, run more, jump more, do your work more effectively because you have all the power. All the energy chakras are enhanced. Whatever you want, you can do. This white healing light is grounding you further by continuously joining you to Mother Earth. Your crown chakra is connecting to the sky and this to Mother Earth. Together, you are in the middle, completely grounded and in a flow of energy. We are all whole and complete. Dearest Mother Earth, Janani Janmabhoomi, Sister Gaia of Maharishis, all I can say is, I am blessed to have been born on you, planet Earth. You look after me every single day. You nurture me, you bless me, you shower me with the choicest of blessings. And I promise to look after you, nurture you as much as possible. Thank you for your love. Now let's spread our hands at a heart level. I am open and receptive to all the love, to all abundance in all the universes. I am love. I am light. And I thank my past lives or past in this life, present that I'm creating, and future that is going to be absolutely magical. And so it is. Let's now expand our hands towards heavens above. Thank our heavens, our universe for having our back, divinities for blessing us, angels, guardians for looking over us, gurus in this realm or the others, ascended masters, all of them, a big thank you from all of us for guiding us, protecting us. Now you can bring your hands in front of your heart and rub them together, feeling the energy. Bless your head, conscious, subconscious, for restructuring you, reprogramming, unlearning, and learning. To your wonderful face for seeing all things good, for hearing all things wonderful, for saying all things magical, for sensing and smelling all things powerful, and the touch. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to your neck for holding you tall and strong, to your food pipe for giving you spiritual food, your shoulders, your arms, your back, upper to lower, including your spinal cord, your hips, your chest, lungs, heart, liver, stomach, intestines, gallbladder, uterus, kidneys, sexual organs, excretory organs, thighs, upper to lower, calves, ankles, soles of feet, toe finger, nails, and ever so gently come back up in front of your heart. Again, fold your hands. Dearest, wonderful, magical body, the trillions of cells in you, the hundreds and thousands of kilometers of blood circulation system in you, the muscles, tissue, fiber, glands, bones, skin. You are absolutely magnificent. Thank you for working on your optimum best. Thank you for discarding all the negatives, be it weight, be it thoughts. I'm ever so grateful. And now I invoke my healing energy and share my love, light, and blessings with my Sangha, their loved ones, and every being on Mother Earth. With love and light. Hina ji, Rigu, Naveen, Prashant, Prachi, Pratima ji, Nisha, Sangeeta, Siddharth and Manna, Rajiv, Payal, Gyanji, Usha ji, Rima, Richa, Archana, Prakash, Jikisha, Sailesh, Aditi, Poonam, Nitin, Mudita, Sapna, Meenakshi, Bharat Bhai, Asmeet, Mitu, Bhuvan, Shivani, Kavita, Shelly, Sakshi, Kripa, Disha, Rohini ji, Gaurav, Garima, Peena, Yuvi, Ankur, Amit, Jitendra ji, Akshay, Mom, Sakshi, Monica, Parul, Yashvi, Badri, Ravi, Chandra, Parul, Richa, Sunita, Karishma, Radhika, Rashi, Pooja, Shruti, Shami and Ankur, Harpreet, Seema, Sanya, Shalu, Shivangi, Nikita, Radhika, Ankita, Kuldeep ji, Alifya, Aksha, Nehal, Puneet, One to One for Life, Neetu, Nisha, Ritesh Sir, Amrita, Sanjay sir, and Shweta. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Are there any sharings, any questions, any doubts? Being a Thursday, of course, we're happy to answer. In fact, we are happy to ask every other day. So thank you, everyone. I guess there are no questions, and that's fantastic. So amazing. Good, more power to everyone. Keep evolving, keep growing inwards and outwards, and keep living a magnificent life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you all tomorrow at 5. Lots of love, light, and abundance.